Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book 91. We're talking to you guys about, well, Iman and Teyana Taylor. They have separated, but is there something more? I went deep dive searching, into some more information, background into, a little bit how they started the relationship and why they came to be the way they are. And then I came across these videos about them agreeing that they were going to have some threesomes in their relationship. And let me tell you something: whenever you invite somebody else into your relationship, it usually is the beginning of the end. Look, in, inviting somebody into the marital bed, the Bible says, leave the marital bed undefiled. I think this is one of the things that defiles a marriage bed. It's a union between two people. When you bring a third person in, you cause a lot of issues. Biblically speaking, Abraham had both Sarah, but then he had Hagar. Hagar mashed up the thing. Jacob had Rachel and Leah. Leah and Rachel, they mash up the thing. Like whenever you bring someone extra into a relationship, into your marriage, you cause a lot of issues, right? Because you have conflicting ideologies. Two are supposed to become one, not three become one, but two become one. Okay. There's no space for us both. And when you invite somebody into the bedroom as well, sexually, you don't know what can happen to either party. Whether I may like it too much and I may start thinking about it, whether the lady might like it too much. We saw this with Ronnie DeVoe and Shamari, and how Shamari ended up wanting to explore her sexual side of her when it came to women, her bisexual side, if you want to call that, quote unquote, right? Because she ended up going with a woman. She actually ended up dating a woman. So that should let you know just how dangerous this is of inviting somebody into your relationship. You want to have fun. I don't agree with it from a biblical standpoint. Have your fun outside of marriage. Do that when you guys are not in a relationship. You want to have your threesomes. Do what you want to do, right? I don't advocate for it because obviously from a biblical point of view, from a Christian perspective, fornication is absolutely wrong and it breaks God's law. And there's a reason why, because it always creates drama. But in reality, when you now come into a commitment before God in terms of marriage, you don't want to bring a third person in. So listen to this clip and we'll talk a little bit about it. But before we do, like, share, subscribe. We're trying to get to 100K. You guys are doing an awesome job right now. The stats and the numbers are going crazy. And that's what you guys are doing. We want to do the impossible and make it possible. And you guys are doing that for us as well. All right. So thank you very much for that. And if you haven't already done so, join our membership. It's £1 a dollar. We have membership lives every other Tuesday. We've got one this Tuesday as well coming up. It'll be about an hour long live as well for you guys. All right. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for the notification of uploads. And for those of you who are returnees, you already know what it is, baby. You got the minerals. You got the minerals. Stay hydrated because streets out there are hot, baby. And don't forget, you can grab your merchandise down below. Go and check out our merchandise. Grab yourself a hoodie. Grab yourself a jacket. It's coming to winter time now. Summertime done. You understand? All right, cool. Let's watch this clip and talk a little bit about this situation.
In having menage a trois?
No, that's what I'm saying. I think that's the mix up. You know what I'm saying? People hear and think that is like a thing where it's like every day we just taking bitches down. Like that's that. Like we just vacation, anniversary. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just certain times where like like in the beginning, I wanted to try it. Like I said, I'm Dora the Explorer. Like Bob backpack, shorts, t-shirt, like yeah.
That's
like
not what Dora's about.
I know that's not what Dora's about, and I feel so bad.
Well, Judy just knows. Judy knows. Once you start watching Dora, it's not about that.
And I feel so bad. I'm curious, George. Like I want to see
how many children's cartoons can you make sexual.
I mean, she's around it all the time now.
I get it.
I know.
Now, as you quite heard there clearly, our good sis was talking about, she likes to be curious, George. She likes to be Dora the Explorer. And which is interesting because, I was reading another article, and I'll read that for you guys in a second or two, from Madame Noir a few years ago, 2019. But you can quite clearly hear our good sis saying that she's the one that wants to explore. She wants to be able to dive into the situation. And hey, listen, if that's what you want to do, that's up to you. But I want to be very cautious about some of the dangers that come with this issue, right? You are putting yourself in a scenario where you are adding someone else in who has their own desires, own ambitions, own goals. They like who they like what they want, right? And you're exploring that as a way of intimacy with your actual partner. But actually, it removes the intimacy from your partner, because in all reality, you've added something extra to that intimacy. Into me, you see, as we like to say, right? How do you see into a person when there's three of you, right? The whole point is that once that extra parties come in, you're actually now allowing your devices, your lust, your temptations to take control and take over. Of course, listen, we've seen biblically how kings would have many concubines, but we also saw how that ended. Didn't end very well. David, Solomon, didn't end very well. These kings were destroyed by women, or at least were taken down by women, or there were women that had issues with them that caused major issues to the lineage, issues to the kingdom, issues to their throne, right? There were those issues that came along with it. So it's never free. I think also with Iman and Teyana, I wonder if that Teyana has really been open and honest about her bisexuality, because and again, for women as well, their sexuality usually is on the scale compared to men. Men are like, you're here or you're not. We don't scale it. But with women, there seems to be this scale that seems to happen. I think that's the best way I can explain it, or spectrum. I wonder how much she's actually explored herself to understand whether she's got those bisexual tendencies, a bit like how Shamari is, and she has to now start denying those tendencies. Once you open that door, you might like what you like, and now you don't want to stop. But also the same can be said for him. Now you've actually opened your door up to having sex with other women. Are you going to be able to be satisfied with just having sex with Teyana? Or do you want to also be able to dive and delve into other women too? It can go either way. The problem with it is that it creates drama, jealousy, insecurity. It changes and distorts the image of how you see each other. Point in case, let's have a little read of this. I'm going to read this article, Madame Noir article. Let me see if I can get this. Might be a better. Okay, yeah. Let me just do it this way. It's fine. Okay, Madame Noir. This situation happened January 28, 2019. Let's read this. This says the banter that I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me make it a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. The banter that Teyana Taylor and husband Iman Shumpret share on social media has always been pretty interesting. When he's not being her biggest fan behind the keyboard, they share some risque and raunchy moments too that one can only smile at. But the exchange they had over the weekend was something of a different tone, and one we weren't used to, at least from them. It all started when Taylor showed some love to her friend, former Basketball Wives star Drea Michelle, on her birthday. In the photo from Michelle's birthday celebration, the two get a little frisky, and Taylor says, when the hottest girl in the school lets quite nerdy trade take her to prom, happy B-Day, babe. And there's a picture here, and you can see it, of her grabbing her booty in the shot. Okay. All right. And it says, it seemed quite playful enough. And then her husband jumped in. This is corny as F, he wrote, to which she replied, you big mad, big fella. This time you really tweaking, he added. OMS, you bogus as F. By the way, we're not sure if OMS was supposed to be OMG or if it meant to express on my soul per Urban Dictionary, but he said it. As it turns out, Shumpret meant it too. Despite everyone looking from the outside in the exchange and assuming it was couples being silly, as they often are, the 28-year-old NBA star was actually in his feelings over the photos and message shared by his wife. This was made known when he followed up his comments with a full-fledged apology in his Instagram stories. Yesterday, I was having a moment in my feelings, tripping about things that normally wouldn't bother me. Let's stop there. Tripping about things that wouldn't normally bother you. So why did it bother you this time? Simply just missing my wife and should have never taken to social media to express that. But let me be honest with you. As a man, if I see my girl with her girls and whatever, I'm not going to put here corny as F. I'm not going to do that. Do you know why? I might be missing you, but I'm going to put I'm missing you. Or I'm going to, you know what I mean? That response by corny as F and, on my soul, blah, blah, blah. And she said, big mad fella. So she's addressing the emotional, the anger. This is not a I miss you energy. That's a frustration energy, which means there's something that's frustrating you. There's a goal, or there's a hill or a mountain that's blocking you reaching your final destination or goal, or your your particular destination. That's why anger comes in. That means to tell me that something is not quite right. Something's blocking you guys' intimacy. Something's blocking you guys being connected. And it's not just about you missing her. Something has happened that's changed or distorted your perception. He says, in my wife's defense, I know she always plays like this with all of her friends, and I should have never violated that trust with her. But again, why would this be an issue? It's like I always say, like if your boy was if my girl sees me with my boys, men we don't play that game, right? Especially black men, we don't play that game. But we if you see me in a picture of my boy, you weren't gonna say corny as F. Now, unless you see me on a boat somewhere on a holiday that I never told you about, and I'm somewhere, I took a photo and I'm somewhere I shouldn't be, then yeah, you're gonna be angry because I have broken your trust, or I've lied to you, or I've not been fully truthful with you. But if I see a picture of my girl and her girl and she's grabbing his butt or grabbing her butt or whatever, that's what girls do. Sometimes they even kiss, and you're bewildered because as men, we don't think like this. So I wouldn't be angry and I wouldn't be frustrated about it. You get what I'm saying to you? And I wouldn't be described as big fella mad. Okay, and I wouldn't be apologizing saying my wife always plays like this. Yeah, yeah, if she does, what's the big deal then? I apologize and mostly apologize to my wife for leaving those comments underneath her pic. He could very well miss his wife, as he says. Both parties are extremely busy, with Shumpret traveling and playing up to 82 games during the NBA season, if healthy. Taylor touring her new music and filming shows and movies, as they shared with us on the VH1 show. Teyana and Iman, the off-season, which is short, is when they're truly able to spend time together. However, one can't help but wonder if this tinge of jealousy has something to do with the fact that they have had at least one threesome with another woman. There's a belief that threesomes are only put together to please a man in a relationship. As a group, it is usually two women and a man. But according to Taylor, who spoke publicly about her bedroom practices while promoting the album KTSE, it's not always about the guy asking for sexual exploration in a relationship. She's just as into it as him. I feel like a lot of times in society, we make it to where it's always the guy that wants it. She said last summer on Big Boy's Neighborhood, it's always like it's got to be birthday or Christmas to get that. It got to be a holiday to get that. But it's like, listen, I think that my husband is extremely sexy, love to explore. Call me Dora. I'm Dora to explore in my marriage. I'm Curious George. And that's what I just showed you the video of. Yeah. She says, my husband doesn't force me to do anything I don't want to do. She added later in an interview, sometimes I'd be suggesting stuff. He'd be looking at me like I've got 5 heads. So look what is happening. Look who's suggesting to have these threesomes. It is not him. I'm not saying he hasn't done it in the past, but what I'm saying is these suggestions seem to be coming from a particular source, Teyana, because she also has, I believe, bisexual tendencies. So sometimes I'll be suggesting stuff. He'd be looking at me like I got 5 heads, but he also understanding marriage. That's how I feel. If you make a vow, what's the next step? If you're already humping before marriage, then what's the next step once you're married and you said your vows, you plan to be together for the rest of your lives, baby, we got to keep it spicy. But others have spoken about how to keep it spicy backfires at times. Lil Mo, with her situation. Yet Sharmario said the same thing, saying don't do it. So yeah. Goes on to say, as for Shumpret and Taylor, she has been the only one to really speak confidently about the ways in which they've opened up their marriage. With that being said, perhaps the fact that she enjoys their encounters with other women as much as he does has left Shumpret worried, and that could be the truth. A fear of abandonment, a fear of loss, a fear the person will leave you, a fear the person may cheat on you with another woman, not just a man, you're another woman, let alone forget man. That is a scary place to be. And that's what happens when you open your relationship up. That's also what happens when you don't also acknowledge the truthfulness of the relationship. That some people may have if I'm not going to marry somebody who has bisexual tendencies, not knowingly anyway, I can't do it. Just because I'm like, I know that this could come up later on, and I'd rather mitigate some of the risks, than try to play with it. It says maybe he saw the very touchy lockdown she and her dancers gave Dre and Michelle a few months ago, as the rest of us did. Maybe the closeness of photos, including the fact that Michelle's playing along, left a bad taste in his mouth. They don't know how to express, so he just publicly sulked. Or maybe for a moment he wondered if she might be having fun with Michelle and other women in general without him. That could be true too. Okay, that could be true too, as well. So, again, this is a great lesson for anybody out there. Don't open your marriage up. Do not think that opening your marriage is going to solve your issues. You have an intimacy issue which you two need to work on, and you need to put more input into seeing each other and actually hearing one another. And that means mentally, spiritually, sexually, financially, emotionally. You've got to be able to see each other in those formats. And that comes through communication, that comes through conversation, and that comes through you guys exploring each other. Don't add another party that's going to further distort the perception of each other, who are going to take away your interests and your attention. You're only adding more stress to your relationship. Like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button. Let me know your thoughts, though, guy below. Do you agree? Do you think that threesomes actually affect relationships? Do you think threesomes don't do anything? What's your thoughts to this? Would you have a threesome? Put it in the chat for us, and let's have a conversation down below. I appreciate you guys. We'll see you again soon. Don't forget to subscribe, babe.